What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 333 of Opinions May Vary. I'm your host, Jared. My co-host, me, Alex.
Hello.
Joining us, trying to stifle laughter because we gave him the gigs seconds before hitting record, is our good friend Jon. Jon, this is the most Jon we've had in years, and I'm ecstatic about it.
Yeah, it's great. I'm happy to be on.
We're spoiled.
Spoiled.
We're spoiled with Jon. We went on a nice excursion today.
Yeah, it was great.
Went to a comic shop we've never been to, bought some comics, and then we got pizza, and it was fun.
Yeah.
And it was good.
And hey, it's Saturday. What a wonderful thing this is.
You're not even at work.
I know. This is great.
Do you not normally have Saturdays off?
I normally work every Saturday and Sunday.
Ooh, both of them.
Yeah.
That retail life.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Love it. That means you're essential. You're an essential employee.
An ant in the maze,
What's
man.
so funny?
An ant in the maze.
There was some day, it was like either a holiday or the day before or after a holiday. And just like some radio DJ was like, oh, by the way, if you're not at work right now, you're not an essential employee.
Oof.
And it's like, how does that make you feel?
Well,
And they hit like the air horn, like beep beep beep.
got real existential. There's the word. Existential. That's what I said at first. Remember that?
It's kind of like Plastic Man has extensional powers.
Exactly.
He can, like, extend.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
That's what I was going for. Who's writing Is that Gail Simone writing Plastic Man?
I'm on issue 2 right now, and I really like it. It's very whimsical.
Yeah.
But like,
She's got some
good,
talent, that Gail
like-
Simone.
and it's weird. Like, Plastic Man's getting it with like the ladies, and like I normally like see him as an asexual character, like
Eel
a cartoon.
O'Brien?
Yeah, like he's like flirting with like chicks and stuff. And it's like normally like he's like this cartoon character that doesn't have like a sexuality almost, but like
I feel in the past he's always like been a flirt.
okay,
Like he'll try to hit on ladies, but he's bad at it and he's a goof. And like, since he used to be like that street hustler Eel O'Brien kind of
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and then he's kind of gross.
But I don't know. Maybe it's because he's drawn like.
Is it working for him?
I don't know. Like he's.
Are they flirting back?
She is a stripper, but she's like giving him like maybe I should, but then her coworker's like, no, don't.
He's a narc.
He's a criminal.
Yeah.
So anyway, I support it. It's very entertaining.
Who was it? Grant Morrison put him on the JLA
Yeah.
because he said he was like the most powerful character in the DC universe.
Hey. Yeah.
But Grant Morrison also has made a lot of other opinions.
Sea Guy. Remember Sea Guy?
I do not remember C Guy.
Don't bother.
That make it past 3 issues.
I think it's like a little mini series, but
It
it's
was meant
like
to be
him
3.
and Cameron Stewart like did a little weird little superhero thing.
Cameron Stewart.
Cam Stew. He's great.
Dude can draw.
Yeah, he can.
He really can. I am going to hijack a little bit of this episode. For the past week, I've had to kind of get something off my chest, and also I wanted your opinions on it. Maybe I'm overreacting
Okay.
because I don't do it that frequently. Last Saturday, I went to a concert.
Who'd you see?
I saw Radiohead.
Nice.
Yes, very exciting.
How long have they been around now?
Radiohead has been around since like the early 90s.
So just like 30 years almost?
About.
Okay.
They're getting up there a little bit. I haven't been to a concert in 4 years. I don't go to concerts very often.
Me neither.
I am old. Typically, I want to be nice and cozy in my bed by a
Homebody.
certain time. And a lot of time, concerts aren't the most comfortable experience.
Also,
Yeah.
there's people there.
There's also
Lots of people.
which is what we're going to get into.
And once you get old and kind of curmudgeonly, you just don't want to be around that many people.
Yeah, the slightest thing will set you off and be a danger to ruining your entire experience.
I can empathize with that.
Yeah.
So you're saying that at the Radiohead concert, did you encounter a couple of creeps?
It was an interesting thing to say the least.
That was a good joke.
Creep, that's the song that they hate. They famously despise that song.
They really do?
They do. They do not play it.
I didn't know that.
Really?
They almost never play Creep live. They play it live like once every like 5 years.
Is it because it's such a big song that they hate it?
It's
Or it's
it-
also kind of sad.
they've like
too?
always hated the song.
Okay.
And like it got them massively famous, and people play Creep, and they
And
no,
they're
we,
like-
we have all these other great songs.
Yeah.
How about these? And everyone's like, no, do that one. So
I think Amanda Palmer had an entire album of Radiohead covers,
Okay.
and like one of the best ones was Creep.
it's a great song. That's the
It's
curse, you know?
It sucks that like if I was them, I would be so frustrated that that was the song that made me famous if I hated that song, because then you'd have to be what you just said, like constantly bombarded with the requests of it. But
It's
anyway.
gotten to the point where I didn't care if they played it. If they did play it, oh, that'd be great. But I was expecting that they were not going to. They didn't. They did not play Creep when I saw them.
Because they probably have dozens of songs.
They played one of the longest sets I've ever seen.
That's cool.
And it was one of those sets where, because my favorite band in the world, I'm a huge Green Day fan. Have been a big Green Day fan since like 2001 when Warning came out. Remember Warning? Not the best album. And then after Warning, they had like their super hits album, and then they had Shenanigans, which
Shenanigans.
I was like, oh, so they're done.
The restaurant with the slides and shit on the wall,
With-
and they serve
yeah.
you popcorn.
And then they came out with American Idiot,
Which
took
is
over
like
the world.
A rebirth for
Yeah.
them, right?
Yep. And then it was, I have to prove that I've been a fan for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And
You have like a T-shirt that says like Dookie on it.
yeah, I have one that says Kerplunk on it.
Kerplunk. There you go.
It's one of their first albums.
I don't know what that means.
Kerplunk? It's their
believe it's
second
a-
like studio album that they ever came
I
out
think
with.
it's also a Price is
It's
Right
the album that
game.
came out before
is.
Dookie. Ironic that one was called Kerplunk and the next is Dookie. It's like you
It's
take
like-
a Dookie
and
then
then
a
it
Kerplunk.
makes the Kerplunk. Yeah.
So I've been a big Green Day fan for a long time. I've seen Green Day 3 times live. Once up in the nosebleeds the first time, next 2 times on the floor, like second row. We managed to like squeeze our way up to the first, real sweaty, and it was great, unbelievable performances. And even then, it's like, okay, I'm ready for this to end. You know, by the time it's like starting to wind down.
Yeah.
The Radiohead show was completely different, and I was like, wait, they're already done?
You don't
Because
want it to end.
They
It was
did
so
2
good.
encores.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was like I knew they were going to do at least one, like because I was doing a lot of research and looking at like their other shows that they've been playing on this tour, because they just did 4 shows in New York. I saw them in Boston. They're doing
Okay.
2 shows in Boston, and like 2 weeks before they did 4 shows in New York. And it was my first concert in a long time, especially a concert of that size.
Because it was a big deal. There was like hundreds and hundreds of people.
Thousands.
Thousands.
It was the TD Bank Arena. It's where the Celtics play. It's where the Bruins play. It's where like the professional Boston sports teams play outside of Fenway. And like it's an arena. It's not like a little concert hall. It's not like the Webster. You know, it's a big place. There's banners on the ceiling. Look at all the times the Celtics won. Because back when they used to be good at basketball, shots fired. I hate Boston. I'm just kidding. And
But I don't think you like Boston. So
no, I just don't like Boston's. No, we're not going to get into it.
Oh,
We're not gonna
sorry,
get into
sorry. That's a rabbit hole.
Looking at,
That's a rabbit hole. I'm sorry.
But so I hadn't been to a concert in a long time. Really anxious. I went with my wife and Colin. Colin is the person who got me into Radiohead. He'd been pitching them for a long time to me. I'd heard Creep. I'd heard like Karma Police, but I didn't know that was Radiohead.
If I can touch on that one more time.
Yeah.
When these bands are like becoming a band, getting their first set together, making their albums and making their first batch of songs, do they have any idea of like what their lasting power is going to be?
I have no idea.
Like, at what point is Aerosmith going to be like, oh yeah, by the way, we're going to be playing this song for the next 50 years?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like,
Yep.
we might as well do something that's either A, like, isn't hard to play, so we know we could play it when we're in our 60s. Or...
It's like Green Day with Basket Case. Like,
or like
they kind of have to play Basket Case.
Yeah.
It's like their big one.
I was gonna say like I don't know much about making music, but I maybe like you shouldn't think like that. Just make what you want at the
Right.
time.
That's probably what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we went with Colin. Colin is the one who really got us into Radiohead in the first place. I'd always kind of, because like I pigeonholed myself when I was younger. I listened to the same type of music over and over and over again. But I like to think I've expanded. And I was really excited. We bought tickets for it back in February. Really exciting times. Oh my God, we had nosebleed seats. Didn't even care because we didn't want the floor. I don't want to stand for 5 hours.
Yeah.
I
Get
give me a
bumped
seat.
around.
Like
Yeah. And the best seats we got at the time, because it was, flying through the queues and stuff. We were like almost looking straight on the stage, but we were all the way in the back in the top row. We were like 4 rows from the toppest you could be. I just said toppest. The most top.
most top.
And it was totally fine. But like getting in the venue, everything was great. Whatever. I'm not going to get into that. Sitting down, waiting for the show. They had one opener, which was another band that one of the guitarists of Radiohead, Johnny Greenwood, is in. It's his other band.
So he's pulling double duty that night.
Yeah, pretty much. And they were fine, not my cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
They were very unique, I guess. And like as we're waiting for it was like halfway through the opener. No, it was after the opener finished. And there's a guy behind us. I don't know if it was with his daughter, girlfriend, whatever. Just a couple behind us.
Mm-hmm.
They were fine. They were singing along. They knew the band that was going on that was opening. They were singing along with some of the stuff. I was like, okay, cool. They know the opener. And these two guys come up and they say, hey, man, me and my friends, we bought tickets, and you're in the seats next to two of the tickets that we have. My two tickets are a few rows up. Could we switch so I can sit with my friends? And the guy was like, no. He's like, it's a little crowded down there. I like, because we were right on the end of a row.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, no, I like where we are.
So this was two parties. You were a third party sitting.
We were
observing
sitting one row in front.
Yeah.
They were right behind us.
Yeah.
And it started out, totally not a big deal. It's just, in case you want to switch, it's better seats, so I can sit with my friends, so we can all sit together.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy, no, thank you. I do not want to do that.
Right.
So then it starts to get passive aggressive. I just want to sit with my friends, man. Like,
so he doesn't let it go. You're
not letting me sit.
He didn't leave to go to his
they're
seat.
better seats. It's going to be crowded wherever you sit. They're better seats. You're going to get a better view. He kept dropping. I just want to sit with my friends, man. Just with that same connotation. I just want to sit with my friends.
That's not.
He was just
that's
bothering
not this
guy,
gentleman's
basically.
problem.
Yeah. And like I'm sitting here thinking like, then you should have all. Excuse me. I'm gonna get a little. You should have all fucking bought tickets at the same time then.
Yeah.
Or maybe,
Yeah.
hey man, I'll get all 4 tickets. That's what we did with Colin. It wasn't, hey man, we're getting tickets to Radiohead. You get your own.
Yeah, that seems like a weird friend.
That's just
thing.
a train wreck.
Yeah.
It's just douchebag.
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about concert etiquette because that was about 5 minutes before Radiohead went on, and this was the rest of our show.
How long did it
Was-
last? Was this dude standing there?
No, the dude. Eventually, he was like, "Fine, whatever. I'll take your stupid seats," and he switched.
Oh,
So
really?
now we had
Did he
four.
really?
We had 4 dude bros behind us.
Right.
The entire show.
That sucks.
And I'm going to chronicle our experiences. And because I was determined not to let these guys ruin my show, but I've also haven't been able to get this off my chest.
Okay.
And I feel like putting them on blast is the best way to do it. And it's just, we're talking concert etiquette. And
Did you learn their names?
No.
Was one of them
I
Chad?
did learn that one of them is a writer for the Boston Globe newspaper.
I'm sure.
So, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
he's
stuff
got
they
he's got
put,
seats 3 rows from the back. Is he doing a review on the show?
Yeah. Well, I heard a lot of conflicting reports. One of them, at one point, they said they're just here so they can say they've been to a Radiohead show. They don't care about Radiohead.
Wow.
Why
enough-
would you even bother them?
Yeah, enough to force a guy out of his seats and make him uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then later on in the show, they're complaining that they want to hear older stuff for the real Radiohead fans. It was great. It was great. So
How many drinks in do you think they got?
I don't know. They lit up pretty immediately. Once
The
Radiohead
devil's
came
lettuce?
on, yeah. Once Radiohead came on, it was just weed. Like, and I get it. It's legal in. I think it is legal in Mass.
I believe it is. Yeah.
Like, that's fine. Whatever. If you can smoke your weed, smoke your weed. Weed happens to give me enormous headaches. I've never smoked it myself, but I've smelled it plenty of times. It smells like fucking shit, and it gives me massive headaches.
It doesn't smell good.
There's a reason they, we get skunked. Isn't
Skunky.
skunked
Yeah.
a term? Because
Yeah.
it smells like a goddamn skunk.
I would recommend edibles for you then.
I'm not gonna.
Okay.
I have no interest in that.
Okay, that's
I'll just eat a regular brownie.
The two of us are just clean dudes, really.
Oh, you.
I mean, give me
Yeah.
that fatty sugar, but I'm
Yeah.
not-
I don't put poison in my body, aside from massive amounts of colas.
To each their own vice. But,
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah.
But and these guys are loud. They're
Mm-hmm.
loud. They're talking and they're loud.
'Cause
And
in the past, I've noticed, like, as the night goes on, the more and more beers they decided to pour down their throats.
Right.
Like,
Oh,
the
jeez.
louder and stupider they get.
It's like an increasing thing. Yeah.
It's like and then they just latch on to one thing, which is what I'm imagining in your scenario. Is like, then it starts and
Like a callback joke that never ends.
well,
basically.
kind of. They get their one drink and they're fine.
Yeah.
They get 4 drinks in, and then it's like they're stuck on play the old stuff. how come they're not playing? And then like they're not even facing the stage anymore. These are old stuff.
When you impersonate annoying people, it's so good that I don't like you in that moment because you do like a nerd voice too.
Yeah, I'm not going to punish you with that right now.
But,
yeah, we don't need that.
But Jeremy, go on.
So the show starts, and I'm already thinking, like, okay, we're going to have to power through this one. Because these guys are really fucking annoying. I'm sorry I'm swearing. Try not to. I've been stewing on this for a week now.
Is this supposed to be like an all ages sort of podcast?
I guess so. I guess
Okay.
so. I'm looking for your guys' opinions to see
Okay.
if maybe I'm in the wrong here. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe that's what someone should expect when they go to a live event, to a concert.
Okay.
But so they get a couple songs in. They start with a couple newer songs off their latest record.
Okay.
Some stuff I recognize, some stuff I haven't heard too much. And they comment on everything. Good lights.
Oh, they're just doing like a live
Real good lights. Did you see those lights?
critique. Of
Man,
everything.
those after every song, when they didn't go in immediately into the next song, they had the same light setup, which was like 4 beams from like there's one in each corner, and they'd intersect like up at the top into like a disco ball,
Yeah.
and it would refract light. And it got to the point toward the end of the show where they're like getting mad at it. God, every song they go to that light thing. Why do they after every song they use the same thing? They were like offended by it.
Should that matter? Like you're there for the music, right?
But so we're they get a couple songs in, everything's good, everything's grand. They talk in between each song. They have to give a synopsis of their feelings and their reviews and
I don't think that would be the case if they were split up and there was only 2 and 2.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they had to talk about what they were going to smoke next.
Oh God.
The mob
I
mentality.
have the blunt here. Do you want to use the blunt now, or should we stick with something like no?
Okay.
Let's just do the blunt.
Do they drag a hookah there too?
And then of course they can't light the blunt, despite the fact that flame typically gives off a little bit of light. So okay, let's all turn our cell phone flashlights on and
I'm
illuminate.
so sorry.
And illuminate the keep in mind, if you've been to a venue like this, the seats are kind of close.
Yeah.
So when a cell phone flashlight is turned on, you might as well just be shining it in someone's face.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here trying to enjoy the
like
show
a big old spotlight.
while these fucking morons are trying to light their goddamn drugs. So
Someone should tell them like your flashlight isn't gonna light your blunt, dude. So I don't...
maybe they thought it was. Maybe they had some app. After one of the first, I can't remember what song it was. I have the set list up. I honestly cannot remember what song it was. It was one of their older ones. One of their more known ones. It was 2 + 2 = 5, possibly. That was the song that like got me into the show. It was the 4th song they played, and when they finished that, I was like, okay, this is dope. This is amazing. This is rad. And after the song, one of the guys behind us goes, "That's a good song." And then he says it again, and then again, and a 4th time, just yelling out, "That's a good song."
Some really great critique.
One, they know,
They can't
and
hear
2,
him either.
even if it was dead silent in the arena, they wouldn't have heard you. Not 1 or the 4 times.
But now you get to hear some D-bag yelling.
I
behind
get to
you.
hear that he appreciates the song, the good song. So I was like, okay, cool, great, awesome. Other things that they did that were really fun. Radiohead had just finished playing a song called "Street Spirit" (Fade Out). It's the last song in the album The Bends, which is my favorite Radiohead album. It was also the last song of the regular show before their first encore.
Okay.
And this is their 17th song of the show.
Wow, they killed it. Sounds like
They played a lot of songs. They played a total of 25 songs.
wow.
It was about like 2 hours and 15 minutes, I think.
So if that was a Ramones show, that would be about a half-hour show.
Yeah, exactly.
25
Because their songs are 30 seconds long.
But if that was a Dream Theater show, that would
You'd be there for
that'd
5
be
days.
5 days.
So
Dream Theater songs are like 40 minutes apiece.
Wow.
they're insane. So 17 songs into the playlist, into the set, for songs all over their repertoire, they finished playing "Street Spirit" (Fade Out) off of The Bends, which The Bends came out in 1994. Googling it now really quickly. The Bends came out in 1994. It was recorded in 1994, released in 1995, excuse me. So they just finished playing a song off an album from 1995. One of the guys behind him goes, "Why don't you play something older for the real Radiohead fans?"
How much older could you get?
And then he suggests a song to Radiohead, like High and Dry.
Okay.
High and Dry is on the same album
As
as the song they just finished playing.
these guys seem like real big fans.
So, what you're saying, I'm sorry, but we've had this conversation between you, me, and Brett at Steampunk World's Fair because Steampunk Giraffe started playing a song. Me and Brett both go, "Oh, cool," and you go, "Oh, I don't know their new stuff." It's like what their last album was,
It's like one of their first songs.
and me and Brett go, "This is off their first album." And Jared's like, "Oh, I only have like 2 and 3."
I'm an idiot. So yeah, and this guy was determined to hear High and Dry. High and Dry is a very popular song by Radiohead. It was off the Bends, again, one of my favorite albums. They did not play it.
Right.
And there was nothing I wanted more was for them to not play this song. Because it got to the point where after he said it the first time, every single song, play High and Dry. He's yelling, play High and Dry, play High and Dry, play High and Dry. All he wanted was play High and Dry. They did not play High and Dry, and I was so happy about it. I would have loved to hear it because it's a beautiful song, but they didn't play, and I was really happy about it. They also didn't play. Like me and Rissa, my wife, were kind of subliminally hoping they would play it the second night, but they didn't. They didn't play it at all in Boston.
That's Schadenfreude. That's German for taking pleasure in others' pain or discomfort.
Yep. I got little things out of it.
No, but that's okay because he's a dick. So
They were awful. And I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting stuff. I tried to block a lot of it out. It was a lot of me and my wife talking each other down from the ledge because we were determined to not let these guys ruin our night. And overall, it was one of the best live performances I've ever seen in my life. One thing when you watch concerts on YouTube, mostly filmed on cell phones, everything sounds like ass.
Yeah.
You can hear the music and it's like, wow, they're singing really flat or they're singing really sharp. They're not hitting the right notes. They
Or
sound
the lights are just blinding the camera.
yeah. Or it's just fuzzy and it just sounds like garbage. And I was like, man, I hope Radiohead sounds good live. I don't know what they sound like live. I've never seen a band sound as close to their recorded material as I have to Radiohead.
wow.
It was unbelievable. They were so tight, and like Tom just hits, the singer, Tom York, hits every note. It was unbelievably well done, I guess. And I think there was one instance where they interacted with like the crowd and like, hey, we're talking in between songs.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was, here's a song, we finished the song, moment of silence.
Does he sing the whole songs?
Yes.
He does the thing where like he sings a couple lines and then like turns the mic towards the audience.
He didn't. I don't recall a single time where he did the Jared Leto.
The Jared Leto.
The Jared Leto. I've never seen anyone more do that. I'm singing, you sing the next lyric. Now I'm singing. I've never seen anyone do it more than Jared Leto. And Jared Leto's got a great voice. His band, I like 30 Seconds to Mars. They're powerful. I dig them.
And he can only reach the people in the front row.
yeah.
So you paid for front row seats to sing the song yourself.
Yeah. I don't recall them doing that a single time. There was...
Rob Zombie's guilty of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to, like, Green Day, my favorite band. Billy Joe plays with the crowd a lot. Like, a lot. To the point where it's like, hey, man, this 2.5-minute song is coming up on, like, 7 minutes. Because we're doing hey-ohs, and this side of the crowd's doing hey-ohs, and this side of the crowd's doing hey-ohs.
Oh, that's fun.
It's really neat.
Yeah.
But also...
But not every song.
Yeah, exactly. And there was one instance where, like, before a song, Tom said something in the crowd, I couldn't even really understand what he was saying. And then during You and Whose Army, they had a really cool thing, because, like, their latest song was called Moonshaped Pool. So their main stage setup, they had, like, a projector screen behind them that was shaped like...
A crescent?
Not it was like an oval. Like
I was going to say a pool.
Yeah. And they had flashing lights on it mostly for the most part. Sometimes you could see some of the band members like intersplice. It was really well done. And for one song, for You and Whose Army, which is a slower song, pretty much just Tom for the most part on a piano. all you see is an eyeball, like a recording of like someone's eyeball, and like it moves around every now and then. It's taking up the entirety of the oval.
Cool.
And then there's like a quick instrumental part in the middle, and like Tom like gets off the piano and faces the crowd and like does a motion, and then you see like the eye cut away, and you realize it's a live feed of his eye. Like he's like
cool.
looking into a camera that's on his piano, and it's his eye, and he keeps like turning away and stuff, and it was a really cool shot essentially. Very well done, unbelievable show. They played a bunch of songs. Most of the songs like I loved. Like there was a couple times where I turned to Colin. Oh my God, they're playing this song. I can't believe it. Colin has been into Radiohead. I can't even fathom. And like we were talking about how like he can think of a Radiohead song and like it'll remind him of a point in his life. So this obviously had a much deeper meaning to him. This show. But it was cool to be able to experience that with him. I did, at one point, almost cry. Almost cried during a live show.
Wow.
Yep. It was beautiful. They were playing a song called All I Need, and it was amazing. But we did get some relief from the guys toward I believe it was during at the end of the first encore. So it took a while, but finally it got to the point where the people behind them gave him a tap and said, "You guys need to stop. There are people here trying to enjoy the show," because they did not. It seemed they didn't care. It got to one point where they had other friends at the show. They had come up to visit them, chatting it up, sitting on the steps, in between the rows and stuff.
Yeah.
We're just chatting. That's where I learned that one of them was a writer for the Boston Globe newspaper.
Sure he was.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can wrap your fish and chips in it.
Exactly. Yeah, sleeps with the fishes. Luca Brasi. I watched The Godfather for the first time a couple weeks ago.
Really? The
Brilliant
first time?
film. Brilliant film.
First time.
Yeah. Then I watched the second one. I was like, this is okay.
Yeah.
Oh, then don't watch the third one.
I had no intention. I heard
Diminishing returns every time.
Yeah. But they did play.
I thought you were going to say the Chads left because they thought it was actually over.
The Chads did not leave. They would have been great. I made a joke before their first encore. I was like, okay, great. Now everyone, you guys can leave. Goodbye. Show's over. They did play, because it's always like, what song would you want them to hear the most? And they did play the song that I wanted to hear the most, which was very exciting. It was the last song of their first encore. So it was, I was like a little nervous. Like, what if they don't play it tonight? And they play it the second night.
Right.
Like that would suck. That'd be kind of a bummer.
You picked the wrong show.
Yeah.
Which song was it?
It's called Fake Plastic Trees. Again, off the Bends. The music video features Norman Reedus.
Ooh.
Hey.
A very young Norman Reedus.
That guy.
Would that be pre Boondock Saints?
Possibly.
He ages well. He doesn't look as old as he is.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
Yep. It's probably my favorite Radiohead song. They play it live pretty frequently, so I thought there was a good chance of me seeing it. And it was cool because they played another song called Lotus Flower. You may have seen the music video. It's a very famous music video. Just features Tom York, the singer, dancing around very erratically. He's just dancing the whole time, and it's all the music video is him dancing. And they played that right into Fake Plastic Trees, which was that was a treat for me. And then they went out, came back out, did another encore with 3 great songs, including one that surprised Colin very much. It was really cool to see Colin.
How long are they off stage for each time?
5 minutes tops. But the house lights never came up.
Yeah.
And everyone's clapping the entire time.
Well, it makes me wonder, what they do backstage. They just
Probably
get a cup of
drink.
water, just having
Yeah.
to sit. You don't want to cool down too much because you want to be able to.
You're out of tune on this number, you fucking idiot.
Sometimes,
something
Get a Gatorade.
yell at your roadie.
yeah.
Sometimes they just compliment the roadies because I have a story later. But it's like some shows are, they go off stage for 1 minute.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like 10, 20 minutes. You're waiting.
I've never had a long encore. These were fine. They were maybe 5 minutes tops, and they came back on. They ended the show with Karma Police, which is a fantastic song off OK Computer. It features the video with the guy running away from the car the entire time. You ever see that music video?
No.
Really, real creepy. It's literally just a car, like the first person point of view in a car, and it's chasing a guy down like a dark dirt road
That sounds really
throughout
creepy.
the entirety of the song.
Forgive my ignorance, but I don't know that too much about Radiohead. But
I don't. 3 years ago, I didn't.
I need to do a deep dive now. I'm very interested all of a sudden.
I was always that. I was always that funny guy when Colin bring up. Oh, because they have Creep, right? And that was all I knew.
Yeah.
And then the more I listened to it, like even at the show, I've been listening to them for a couple years now. There were still a couple songs that I didn't recognize, and I have that album. But
I bought Kid A when it came out.
Mhm.
It wasn't really my deal.
Same,
Did you get Kid B?
Good one.
Oh,
because
it wasn't that
Kid A was actually one of the most, aside from the most recent album, was their most recent album that I had bought,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't really dig it that much.
Okay.
Now there's a lot more on it that I appreciate because I listen to a lot of Radiohead when I'm at work, just
Mhm.
like on Spotify, just on random.
Well, it's cool that you were able to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just it's a lot of their like electronic stuff because they used to be like guitars,
Mhm.
It's guitars, some piano, but Kid A really moved into, again, Colin should be here for this probably, but to give this lesson. But Kid A had a lot of their electronic stuff on it. And they actually played the most songs off of Kid A at the show we saw. There's the neat little website I have that shows me like the entire set
Oh,
list.
I thought you were taking notes the entire time.
No, I'm not that smart. I didn't take a single picture. I didn't take a single snap. I didn't take any videos.
That's
I
great.
just wanted,
You lived in the moment.
I wanted to enjoy the show. Colin took a snap during my favorite song and sent it to me, and I saved I screenshotted it. But
I thought you were gonna say you watched it during
no,
while the song was happening.
I didn't even pull my phone out. It was great. I recommend everyone do that because I'm gonna put a little PSA out there, little bit
Yeah.
of a PSA.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
There are two things, at least in my personal opinion, that never warrant being snapped, photographed, especially at length,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and that's concerts and
Childbirth.
fireworks.
Oh. Okay.
I mean,
I
maybe
guess-
we can add childbirth on there. Pictures of fireworks. I'm just gonna put it out there. They never
It's an experiential thing. You need to
hit.
be there.
How often do you ever sit down and you sit down and go, you know, let's look some pictures of fireworks that we took from
From 5 years
like
ago.
New Year's, like 6 years ago.
Yeah, fireworks. They never land. They're never getting the emotional response out of someone else that you think they might be getting. Enjoy your fireworks and put your phone away. Same thing with concerts. If you upload a snap story,
The only video I have of fireworks is when I got to set some of the big ones that you have to like get the metal canister for,
right? And they go
like the
thunk.
big metal tube, and like you have to like light like an actual can of gas,
Right.
That, like it's like a mini blowtorch with a trigger on it. I had someone videotape me doing that,
Right.
but that was it. That's, you know. And then he was videotaping the works more than me, and I was like, no, I want you to show me making explode. You know, you messed up.
Yeah.
Not you personally, but the guy who was filming. I don't want to say who it was.
And then concerts.
It was you, Jim.
Classic Jim. Poor Jim.
Actually, it was Leo.
Auntie Donna.
so-
Oh, we don't need to call anyone out, put them on blast. But yeah, but concert
Roasted.
footage too. People who will upload, because on Snapchat now you can take like minute-long snaps.
That's ridiculous.
Don't upload, like, I don't care, man. Don't send me that. Maybe other people appreciate that. I do not care.
Someone had to upload their concert of Hobo Johnson.
I don't know who that is.
Yep.
Never heard of him, and I don't care to hear
He
him.
doesn't wear shoes on stage, just socks.
Because the hobos.
Hopefully he'll be homeowner Johnson someday. You know.
I don't think so.
Essentially,
He'll lose his appeal that way.
Yeah, he'll be too mainstream.
because I wanted to, the etiquette. I feel like these guys were being douchebags.
They're the goofus to your gallant.
Yes, that's a thing that I knew of at one point. I can't remember.
I just heard that term at Vicky's cosplay panel because her friend Minx,
I don't know.
Minx said she was the goofus to the gallant, and she was Vicky and Rocket Props were like doing this talk about cosplay, and it was like very educational and very here's materials, here's this, here's that, and then like she would come in and like say something kind of goofy and be like, you don't want to burn your finger like I did. It was very she was funny.
Yeah, it was like a good idea, bad idea from the Animaniacs. Or it was in
I
like,
remember that.
Yeah, or it was like from Highlights, the kids magazine. There's like a Marvel version of like Captain America isn't a vegetarian, but he'll bring a salad to his vegetarian friends. While Deadpool, he ties vegetarians up and he force feeds them meatloaf. So it's like, do this, don't do this.
Yeah.
So these guys were definitely the douchebags.
It's the second time I've heard Goofus and Gallant within the past month, and I've never heard it before.
Right?
That's very strange.
Bringing it back.
One of those words.
So yeah, that is a PSA worth mentioning.
When I went to the Marvel Universe live show,
Mm-hmm.
there was a family behind us, and the parent, might have been the dad, had the daughter on his lap, so her legs hung over his knees, which meant her feet kept kicking my hair all night because I had my hair tied back.
Did you throw her?
And I wanted to.
Okay.
And it's like, why does someone keep playing with my hair?
Yeah.
Like, so I just
And at
want
that
I just
point-
want to watch Captain America throw his shield,
Yeah.
and I want to watch the Guardians of the Galaxy get the Wand of Fortune back from Gamora.
Yeah.
No, back from the other one,
Loki?
Nebula.
Nebula?
Loki was there too.
The
He was cool.
Wand of Watum.
And it's like, can you just control your damn kids?
Yeah.
Just put them in
They're
the
just,
seat.
they're just trying to
The
have a good time.
seat's right
Alex.
there. Just put them in the seat.
They're just trying to have a good time.
They can see the stage.
Just
Not
trying to
everyone's
show
not
my-
everyone's as tall as you,
I
Alex.
have my daughter for the weekend. I need to show her a good time.
The thing that, because there were times where I was like, maybe I'm being mean, maybe I'm old, and I don't go to concerts so frequently. Maybe this is the meta of concerts.
I was at an Ozfest show many, many years ago at the Meadows, whatever it's called now, because they all changed names.
Yeah, I
'cause they
can't
get bought
remember.
by someone new.
Xfinity.
And there was some dude with his shirt off
Ew.
in one row. We were way off to the side, who would turn around and sing at the people in the row behind him.
I don't want that.
And that's great. You know all the lyrics to Disturbed. But no one came here to see your shirtless, sweaty ass. They came here to watch Disturbed play at 3 in the afternoon. So how about you just sit down and shut up? But no, it's like he really thought he was the shit because he knows all the words. It's just embarrassing.
If only you had like.
Do they realize they should be embarrassed?
You need a cow taser for these moments. Just like, and he's down.
It kind of
All right.
baffles me, because the whole time I'm sitting there thinking like maybe I'm just being mean, but then I'm like, no, we spent multiple hundreds of dollars to come and enjoy this show ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You guys should shut up. Like, we're all here to watch the thing. I don't care about your opinions of the songs. I don't care about where you work. And like, these are the kind of guys who, and it kind of bums me out. I almost feel bad for them because you can tell college was the best time of their life, and they desperately try to duplicate their experiences from college, but they're never going to be able to
Diminishing
because that was
returns.
10 years ago, man. You gotta move on. It's like dudes who say like, "Oh man, high school is the best time of my life." That
Was it?
sucks, man.
That's sad.
That's so, and I'm not even trying to be like insulting.
No, that
That's
literally
just,
is
that
sad.
bums me out if you say that, because that was so long ago, and it's such a small part of your life.
And it's over. It's done. It's never going to come again.
What'd you really do with it? You went to class.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucked around. I was a class clown, dude. Okay, so you just made your teachers' jobs harder.
Are
Cool.
they too uncomfortable to just let the show happen?
The
Right.
case of the not gays.
Exactly.
It's like we can't
I
touch like legs or knees because
Me and John went to the movies. What did we see? Was it
Quiet Place.
No,
or
no.
it was Justice League?
We saw Justice League.
Yeah.
And some guys came to theater and sat the same row as us, but then they sat a seat apart. And John didn't know what was happening. And I go, oh, they're using the Ing seat, the I'm not gay seat. They can't sit directly next to each other. They have to sit one seat apart, so no one thinks that they're gay. This is a real thing that happens. I'm not making fun of anybody, but it's been happening since I was a teenager, and it's still happening today.
I've never done that.
I'm really old. And then if they want to talk to each other, they have to lean over this seat, or talk kind of loud because you got to get across the seat. Now you're just
I've never done that.
if you just sit next to someone, you just like, oh hey, that was cool.
When Colin and I saw it
Yeah.
with
that's great.
with
Saw
his
it in
roommate
theaters?
Dan, yeah.
That's fantastic.
And I don't do horror very well.
Okay.
I get fucking scared.
That was a fun horror though.
It was a
Yeah.
good movie. I enjoyed it.
Fun
Horror. I was practically snuggling Colin.
It's like, oh my god, the clown, he's
Like
back.
I was almost buried into his shoulder at one point. I guess Colin and I've always had that relationship. Like
You're okay with
we're
it.
we're totally comfortable with each other. We're very good friends. And like I don't understand I get it at urinals.
Yeah.
If there's an open urinal 2 urinals away and you come to one next to me, dude, fuck off.
because your bits are out.
I'm just trying to take a piss.
So, now I will do kind of the same thing as those guys, like when me and Will go hiking.
Right.
Because now we're just two dudes walking through the woods. Will will be mostly silent. And it's like, now it's just awkward for two dudes to be like stomping through the woods up a hill
Side by side.
in silence.
Yeah.
So I'll just
we've
like,
come here to do something.
I'll just make conversation just for no reason.
I just get winded when
Just
when I hike and talk. It's like, we'll talk at the top.
Maybe that's why Will likes the slashers, because they're strong, silent types. you
Yeah.
know? And they just don't talk.
But like, I feel like it gets awkward if we're just walking through not saying anything.
Yeah, yeah. It's like,
But that's
So these
that's
woods, huh?
is he leading you to your death? Like,
the only time we do communicate more, like over
Mm-hmm.
average, is when we're looking for a geocache. Hey, did you find it? How did I?
it's like some birds, huh?
Found a bee's nest.
But like, but that's the environment that we're in. It's a quiet forest.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just talking to break the silence.
It's a quiet place.
Whereas here, like, you're at a thing where there's noise in a show happening. You could just let it happen and
Yeah,
not have
let
to
it
say
wash
anything.
over you, man.
So, yeah, that was my experience at Radiohead. It was one of the most incredible live shows I've ever seen by a band. I didn't and like they felt, because like, Radiohead kind of has that stigma,
Of
like they could be dicks,
really, I didn't know
like
that.
because essentially they have been known to say stuff that, because when you're famous, you have to say this, and you say this at this time, and you say this, and you thank everyone.
And
Thank
if
you
you
so
say
much.
something at the wrong time,
Exactly. Yeah. And like, they'll come out and be like, Spotify's shit. This is shit. I think like Napster is great. Like they,
Pretty dated.
yeah, they don't hold back with their opinions, and it's landed. It's kind of like, oh well. And even like sometimes when they perform live, when people all they want to do is hear Creep and they refuse to play Creep. Oh, Radiohead's dicks. They don't play it. They don't give the fans what they want. But they genuinely,
but you got what you wanted. It
I
sounds
got
like.
everything I needed out of that show. It was unbelievable. And like when I looked at the set list from the following night, we definitely got the better of the two.
Nice.
Like we got the set list we got was, and if we had been in the Sunday show, it still would have been great. But the set list we got was miles above.
Imagine if you could prepare ahead of time.
And
If you knew like which show was going to get which set list.
no,
You need an inside man, like that.
exactly.
Then just switch it on random.
But they have
Oh.
they have so many, they have so much material. But it was a great show. They genuinely looked like they were happy to be performing there.
Yeah. If you're not, like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
If
it
you're not-
wasn't
if you don't
like,
want to be there.
You're deserving your check.
Yeah.
That's our
paying.
show. Piss off. Goodbye. It was, after every encore, they're like, Tom York's doing like the prayer hands and bowing, like thank you. That was a lot of fun stuff. Like it was a great show. It left like the ride home. We tried talking about it, but I think the three of us. It was also like 1 a.m. The three of us were just kind of like taking it in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like we tried to be like, oh, remember when they played this? Yeah. Whereas like last night, we got together for game night last night, and Colin was the first one to show up, and the first like 20 minutes was just me, him, and my wife just talking about the show a week later. So we finally get to digest it, see what comes out on the other end. That's a Office quote.
I get it. Man.
It's a good one.
See what
I
comes
think
out.
that's valid.
So
It's
what do
very
you
valid.
what do you guys think I'm being curmudgeon-y?
No.
Do you think
No.
that there's a concert etiquette that people should fucking follow?
I think it's a basic human self-awareness and empathy is important. So
So you went there to watch a show,
Mm-hmm.
to experience a concert. Some people play the game of I need to go out and party and let loose.
Right.
And usually they're like, oh, they're gonna go get drunk at a bar. They're gonna go to the bar.
yeah,
Like,
that won't
we-
cost hundreds of dollars.
I need to go. I need to go let some steam off. Have a good time.
Yeah.
To them, that's how they did that.
Right.
But like we're not party dudes. It's just not a
Speak
thing.
for yourself. Okay.
John, the notorious party animal.
None of us are Michelangelo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You're right,
Oh.
because he's the worst turtle.
I'm good with machines, I guess. I'm that one.
Oh, not that one.
No.
No. Be Casey
know.
Jones.
Okay.
He's better than both those.
All right. Michelangelo's cool. He's Mikey.
He's okay, but he's not as good as
John,
Casey.
who's the best Ninja Turtle?
Raphael.
Oh my god.
Okay.
You're both wrong.
He's top 2.
I loved Red as a kid. That's all that I.
That's
based
fair.
Well, they were
my-
all
That's
red
fair.
at one point.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Donatello.
Leonardo.
Donatello
See
is the
the-
best.
See, like the pink one.
He's the purple one.
Donatello's purple. He does
Purple.
machines.
Purple. He does machines.
He does machines with a bow staff.
Bow staff machines. Got it.
Bow staff machine man. That's a cool comic. Bowstaff Machine Man.
My name's Bowstaff Machine Man.
Trademark that.
We already have a machine, but not he doesn't have bow staff. Anyway, so they thought they were completely at liberty to let loose and party
Hey,
because
this is
that's what that is for
America.
them.
Yeah.
Without understanding that, like, there's people around you that also paid for tickets.
Yeah. Some
Like
Some people.
like I mentioned with the Disturbed guy, it's like they came here to experience the show.
not
Not
you.
not you guys yelling for a song I'm not going to play.
Remember back in the day, and it's on. We talked about this on the show. We went to MC Chris the first time with Colin,
Yeah.
and there was that one guy throughout Chris's entire set, like violently rapping all of the lyrics to his friend, like not watching the show.
Right.
He was facing his friend, rapping along with MC.
You could do that off the CD.
Yeah, it's like, dude, just watch. We get it. You know the words. Just watch the show.
and then the friend just looks embarrassed.
Yeah, it's like,
what
cool,
am I
man.
supposed to do?
I gotta watch you, I guess, because if I don't, you're gonna get pissed, and you're just stand in front of me or something. It's just, it kind of, it was close to ruining the night, and it sucked.
I think
But
there was a time an ex had me bring her to an Aerosmith concert.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. And she's a huge Aerosmith fan. And, like, it was
Should have been a red flag.
and at some point, like, she got hit with a bottle. Like, just one of the plastic water bottles. And then, but, like, the thing was, she decided to turn around and stare at the crowd behind her. This was at the Meadows.
Yep.
So we had seats, but then there was, like, another two, like, sections, and then the lawn.
Yeah, the massive lawn area.
There's 20,000 people back
so
there.
who is she looking at?
I
I guess the guy who threw
no-
that bottle didn't want to miss a thing.
Ooh, yeah.
That was good.
Was that good?
I mean,
good.
would she have ever found him?
No.
She can probably dream on.
But I can tell why you went, because you wanted some of that brown sugar. Isn't that them?
I don't know.
Okay,
I
never
don't
mind.
know, John.
No, John, it was pink. Anyway,
Maybe it was.
Moving on.
Yeah, okay.
they had a couple of neat shows, though.
Like, if she found him, would she have, like, been like, step outside, let's walk this way?
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. And that's it. That's all I know. That's all I know of their songs. I don't know.
And they had the one with the... I can't remember that was the name of that one.
I've been to more than one.
Oh,
because
Janie's got a gun. Oh, just thank God she didn't have a gun.
We already know what song you're going to use, John.
Damn it. I messed it up.
I've been to multiple.
Can't I just take the last minute back?
I was gonna say something Armageddon, but you already don't miss a thing.
I was on the same page, too. We're already back.
Damn it. I think that's all
Walk
of their
this way.
songs. That's all of their
That's
songs.
probably all of them.
Yeah.
We've been to multiple. She made me go to multiple Aerosmith shows,
Whew.
and one of them, they just played the opening from Saturday Night Live, because like Adam Sandler did a thing where he was Steven Tyler,
Okay.
and he did amazing, and then crazy crying, and like they
Oh, okay.
all have the same cadence to it.
Mm-hmm.
Dying. So he just and then like the crazy amazing dying, and he just like combined all the words to the same song. The joke was he did the same song 5 times. Anyway,
It's like...
yeah. So a bottle came out of the sky.
And then she dead.
She was really staring.
Okay,
she was
didn't
really
die.
pissed, and I was like, "Just watch the show." Are you looking for a second one? Because they're not gonna hit you the second time.
And that would be 1 in a million. That really would be crazy.
I don't really care about that one.
They knew she was serious.
She's
Serious. Apparently.
Anyway.
So yeah, concerts. What do you think, John? Do you think I don't know, are you a big concert guy yourself?
Not recently. I'm trying to think of the last one I've been to.
How was the moshing at this show?
Almost none. Like it was I think it probably would have been an enjoyable experience to be on the floor because I think most people were there just to
Do people mosh at Radiohead?
not a Radiohead, not from what I saw. There wasn't a lot of moshing opportunities.
Okay.
I've been to a lot of metal shows where there's a mosh pit.
I've been
Okay.
to one like
Are they still
metal-
called mosh pits, or are they just pits? I
I
don't
think
know
it's
anymore.
just pit. You know, mosh pit's like the old man term. Because
John.
like I've go ahead.
John, look up Wall of Death sometime.
I just don't understand. Like, I don't want to hit a stranger.
You're
I
not
don't know,
looking to
like-
hit people. You're looking to express your space around you.
I mean, typically with the pit,
And if you happen to hit someone, then you hit someone.
like, you gotta want to be in it for the most part.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
You
like
seek it out.
I've been to 2 Avenged Sevenfold shows. I don't know if that's like
And
metal.
but sometimes it just happens around you, and you have to escape real quick.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
I've
what
been-
are you guys doing?
And I went to I saw Slayer open for Marilyn Manson,
Oh, that's neat.
and I was never in danger of being
It's
in
a
a mosh.
classic.
It was that I've said this countless times. It's my one story with Slayer. I legitimately, no joke here, I legitimately thought my ears were bleeding. I'm not even joking. We were on the right side. Like the speakers were pretty much right in front. Like, you know, we weren't directly in front of them, but they were in front of us. We were like halfway down the floor. And at one point during Slayer, I reached up because I thought I felt liquid coming out of my ear. I swear to you, it was the loudest show I've ever been to. Unbelievably loud.
Uh-huh.
I think the last show I've been to
Was up to 11.
It was crazy. Last show you've been to?
was Janelle Monáe at the Hard Rock Orlando. She puts on a great show. She was wheeled out as if she was in a straitjacket, and then she burst out of it, and then just started right into singing. It was pretty.
That's
Nice.
pretty cool.
Pretty cool, and great performer, and actress too. She's great. Anyway, but not the same punchy vibe as a metal show. There
As
was
Slayer?
yes, quite different. Quite different.
I had to put up 4 kids in a row one time because they wanted to like either go to the front or just go crowd surfing.
Okay.
Right.
And I was like the biggest dude near them.
You gotta help.
And so like they were like adolescents, like under 15 years old. And I feel a tap on my shoulder. And I turn, there's some kid, he's like, hey, put me up.
Gee, mister,
And, like-
crowd surf.
And like the classic way is to like, you know, like weave your hands and they put their
Yeah.
foot in your hand, then you just throw.
You know, alley oop.
Did
But
you
I-
toddler them?
No, I back body dropped them. And so I turned them around and like put their arm around my head.
Yep.
And got them around the waist and behind the knee. And then I stood up.
Yep.
And then I just backed into the crowd.
Yep.
And
And
then-
then they take them.
And then off you went.
Yep.
Off they went.
And so like I turn on to watch more of the show and I feel another tap on my shoulder. There's a
You're the
this-
guy.
this-
So, yeah,
So this was like a group of 4 kids. The last one was kind of chubby. He was the biggest of the group.
It's like I hear you can get people on the crowd. You're the one to talk to about
And I
that.
did them all the same way. So,
Oh,
That's
funny.
the 2 times I saw Green Day on the floor, we were very close to the front. Like once the show starts, you start to make your way up to the front. We were like first, second row pretty much. And it was very shocking the first time we saw him on the floor because as soon as the show started, all of a sudden you get slammed against the person in front of you.
yep.
You're like, what?
Yeah, and I was like, I can't breathe right now.
My dad used to warn me because he would work the fire patrol at certain shows here and there.
I thought you were going to say he was like a metalhead, like secretly.
Nah, the city fire department like will have to go fill in and do and, you know, and work shows
Just
essentially.
make sure chaos doesn't ensue.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so there'd be times where like he's like, don't go in the front, don't go in the crowd. Stuff like that. He'd warn my sister too, because like there would be the rush and they would just push to the front. And if you're at those front bars, the rail guards or whatever,
be
like
pressed into
they
it.
will crush you. You might break a rib if you're not ready for it. If you can't make space or have someone there to help you out and give you some backup. But yeah,
It was intense. It like pretty shocking, jarring. Like we eventually got used to it. One thing that was fun was when we saw a security guard who was manning the front. When they would get in front of us, that meant to duck because the crowd surfer was coming.
okay.
And like you
They're
kept
there
getting,
to catch
you kept
'em.
getting kicked in the head. But yeah, they'd show up to catch them.
Yep.
So when we saw them come over and like stand in front of us, we would put our heads down, and then someone would come over our head and
There would be Ozfest, mostly second stage is where I was in the pit mostly. Even if not in the pit, just in the crowd.
right.
Because they would surf on. And like if any of us like saw a shadow, we would
Like,
flinch.
whoa.
We would flinch and then the person around us would all flinch. And then there's nothing there. It was like a bird.
I just sounded like Hank Hill.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Bobby.
Whoa.
Bobby?
But I think for this show I wouldn't have. The only thing is if I were on the floor, I'd want to be in the front. I
Yeah.
don't want to be in the back or the middle. It's waste.
We'll just grow, get taller.
Well, like being the it's just you get such a better view, but that means you got to line up so many hours in advance. Whereas like we had seats, so like we casually strolled in. Oh hey, those are our seats right there. Let's wander around a little bit. Let's go buy a T-shirt, a $40 T-shirt.
Yeah, that's a concert T-shirt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like a circus bucket of popcorn.
Yeah. It's
$20, please.
for stale popcorn that was made 3 days ago.
What's his?
By an elephant.
What was his name?
Macklemore.
Thank you.
Yep, I'm with you.
Yo, it's $50 for a T-shirt.
Yep.
Sounds great.
The worst offender I've ever had at a show was a girl who was in the crowd, not quite in the mosh pit, but she had been in a mosh pit before, because she would like had her arms out like in bumper position,
Mhm.
like you've got your elbows up just because you're getting bounced around. You're all
like
kind
giving
of
yourself some space. you know?
yeah, but like guarding herself, like and had an open wound on her arm.
Ugh.
Like it wasn't actively bleeding, but it was an open wound.
It was
And
weeping.
Instead of like leaving or going to get it covered up, she's insisted on staying there amongst the crowd, getting back like with this arm, like, you know, fending people off just because you're so packed in. That's just what you do. And
It's like fight or flight, basically.
when it's that cramped and that like shifty the whole time, you will just like kind of migrate around each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kept her in my peripheral the entire time. So like I didn't get, you know, taint arm bumped up against me at any point, trying to keep people in between us.
Mm-hmm.
The worst offender I've had at a concert ever, the worst person ever I've seen that I just wanted to destroy, was the third time I saw Green Day, the most recent, I guess, down on the floor, and the opener was The Bravery. They have that one song that you may have heard. That's about it.
I don't think
I'm not the
know.
biggest fan of openers. It is what it is. There's always pretty much going to be an opener for the most part. Every now and then I'll get surprised. Hey, that was pretty good. I really enjoyed that. But Bravery wasn't bad, but I wanted to see Green Day.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a girl next to us, me and the group I was with, who all throughout, because like we were right in the front, so we were there for a while on the floor. So like we were in line for a while, we were waiting for a while for the show to start, and she's awful, just the worst type of annoying. She's never stopped talking. She's all on her phone. Oh my god, my phone's vibrating! Just announcing everything.
She's being a real American idiot.
Just the worst. And the Bravery starts playing, and she decides that she doesn't like them. She doesn't want to listen to the opener.
Okay.
She's going to give them the finger, their entire set.
That's gonna work.
Is this
Yep.
like within eyesight of them? Like, can they
We were
see
in
it?
the second row.
So that's not great.
So she spends the entire, by entire, she meant like half a song. She standing there giving them the finger. What is that going to accomplish?
Yeah, why?
Like, they're here to perform. They're here, like,
They're
I
just
get
doing
it.
their
You don't like
jobs.
openers. That's fine, whatever. But, like, why you got to give them the finger? You serious? What the fuck did they do to you? She was the worst. But luckily, once Green Day came on, she's like, oh my God, I'm going to force my way to the front. And we never saw her again. It was great. That's one of the best parts about, like, the whole, like, slamming and crowd shifting is you're not, 5 minutes later, you're not next to the same person.
I feel like that's a thing that happens to a lot of openers, is the finger. Because
Really?
you got someone there who's just gonna flip them off because they want to see the main act,
There's
Yep.
impatient.
or they had nothing better to do that night. I think like Stuck Mojo had a story where like they were playing somewhere down south. The lead singer's a black dude,
Okay.
and there was like these dudes with like Confederate flags on their shirts who stood at the front of the stage with their back to the stage, but giving the finger over their shoulder. And like they knew this was coming, and so like when they start the show, the singer like jumps down off the front of the stage and shoves these two dudes and like starts moshing, like bumping into them, like slamming into them
While
singing. And they were like, oh, okay, this isn't bad. This is all right. And like they came around to enjoy the show.
Interesting.
But like this dude like jumped out to confront them, and like while he's doing his job, and they came around. But like he encountered it enough where he knew what to do about it.
Yeah. So that was my concert experience. Thank you guys for letting me hijack almost the entirety of this episode.
I've done it.
I'm just glad that you got to see them and enjoyed the most part, and hopefully he got fired from the Boston Globe. Newspapers are a dying form of news anyway, so his days there are numbered.
And the thing is like, dude, you give Spotlight a bet. Did you ever see Spotlight?
I know Michael Keaton's in it.
That movie is so damn good.
I didn't want to see it because I thought it would make me feel like depressed.
It's heavy.
Because
It's
child
real
abuse.
heavy, but it won the Oscar.
Yeah.
When Sinead was in town, Colin's lovely girlfriend from Ireland, she was in town last month. one of the like main when we got to it was just Colin, Sinead, me, and my wife. We watched Spotlight because we're like, hey, I was watching a movie together. What do you want to watch? Spotlight's really good. It's on Netflix. Very good movie.
Okay, did it kill the vibe?
It did. No, I mean we all enjoyed it. We were all
okay.
kind of sad, but we also had we had
You have
had-
each other.
we had guac that my wife
Oh,
made.
okay. Well,
So-
guac can save any
Guac
party. you know?
healed wounds, but it's a very good movie.
I think
recommend
it literally can.
but that's most likely. It might burn a little, but
How are we on time?
we're pretty much out. We're just an hour and 15 seconds.
This is a good episode. I liked it.
John,
It was a very natural conversation.
John went to a show while he was in Florida.
Did he?
Yeah. This
Does-
is a long
does
time.
John know
This
this?
is a long time ago.
Because acting like he doesn't.
John's. I've never been to the show. I've never seen this group live. I have a lot of friends who have, and I've learned a lot about what to do there. We have people who
I know what you're talking
we have people
about.
who've been on this episode who've been to a lot of shows in the past. And John's like, "Oh, so I'm going to a metal show. I'm going to wear my black shirt because that's what you wear to metal shows."
It was free because my friend Mongo, who I worked with at Universal at the time, was like, I'm going to buy your ticket because it's an experience and it's your first time going.
It is an experience.
And they're like horror monster dudes and like I love horror movies and like stuff like that. And it's the band known as Gwar.
What?
And
So
I-
Sean,
go
Sean-
on, Alex. You're telling us better.
John wears his black shirt to what he assumes is a rock and roll metal show with these horror monster people, and then he gets in and everyone's wearing white for some reason.
Yeah, I think we all know why.
I didn't know why. And I was really near the front too. We got there pretty early. And I was like, I should have said this earlier, but I have been crushed by the crowds. Like, is this going to stop at some point?
Nope.
Like, I was like, I don't think I like this. But
Did you stick out wearing your black shirt?
I did. I don't think anyone really cared or noticed really because it was kind of dark in there.
Yeah.
But the reason why they wear white is because Gwar. You guys know this already. I didn't know it at the time. Now I do know. They like to squirt because they're
Same.
They're, that was great. That was good. That joke redeemed my bad delivery of that Aerosmith joke. But they like to squirt giant gallons of fake blood onto the crowd because they're horror monster men and like
Sometimes from a hose, sometimes from a giant penis.
yeah,
Sometimes it's blood, sometimes it's milk, whatever,
Oh God, I'm glad it wasn't milk.
or whatever creamy substance they decide to mix up.
But I got doused in it, and it looked like I had a bad sunburn afterwards because I was just like dyed red.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. It was a crazy experience.
And then like it's a badge of honor to wear your pink shirt the next day.
yeah, it's like your blood-stained
'Cause
clothes.
You want your being sprayed with blood to show through.
yeah.
And like now your white shirt is pink, not quite red, because some of it doesn't quite dye completely. But
Yeah, it's kind of watery blood.
yeah.
But yeah, that was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. So thanks, Mongo.
And one of them passed away.
The
a
singer.
couple years ago.
Yeah.
Odorous. Was it Odorous? Odorous among. I can't remember.
That
his
sounds
name.
about right.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Mad Max villain.
He had a cod piece, and it was named the Cuttlefish of Cthulhu.
Oh God,
Our friend Adam taught us that.
that is.
He's
so
a big
foul.
Gwar fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I learned many things about the Gwar culture that day. It was very
The
interesting.
the Gwalcher.
Was there an opener?
I don't know. I don't
The
remember.
night was a blur.
Yeah,
There was monsters and blood, and I don't remember much else.
and you couldn't see it. You couldn't see the blood on my shirt.
Not much of it was mine.
I was very wet at the end. As I was walking, I was like, This is not sweat. This is just blood.
The temperature in the crowd gets over 100 degrees
That's crazy.
just because there's so many bodies
Yeah.
just pushing out heat.
Gross.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
human body, disgusting. Yeah.
I'm trying to find the name.
Odorous among us.
Odorous. Yeah, it was Odorous Urungus.
Urungus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And before, when we were having our pizza before the show, I was like, Jared, what do you think the difference between a concert and a show is?
It was a tough question.
Because like if it's a big concert, it's like in a big like music venue.
Well, show
It's
could be comedy too. Like I've seen Hannibal Buress in Northampton.
But he wouldn't put on a concert.
yeah, it's
So like if we go to the Webster in Hartford, that's going to be a show.
yeah.
I've never seen a concert at the Webster. I've been there a bunch of times. And like if like a a college band plays at the hockey rink.
That's like a show.
That's a show.
Yeah. But it's like a concert, like something grander than that. Like, does it have to be like more people? More
But like
of a-
Ozfest is a fest. It's a festival.
Clearly.
I wouldn't say I'm going to a concert. I'm saying I'm going to
I'm
Ozfest.
not going to the Ozzy concert. I'm going to
If I'm going to see Frenchie and the Punk, I'm going to see a show.
Yeah.
because it's like more of a fun atmosphere.
It's
like,
intimate.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like they put on a cabaret performance, and when you hear cabaret, I think
Okay.
show and not so much concert.
It's
Yeah.
more, intimate. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But like when I think at some point like Metallica did a free concert in Central Park,
So
that was
a show.
no, it
Oh,
was
no,
a
it's
concert.
Oh man, I don't know.
I had a friend way back in high school correct me on what was a show because I was going to a concert. She's like, "No, you're going to a show." And I
It
was
also
like,
just sounds like she's pretentious and a little bit.
her name is Mary. She shaped what I want in a woman for the rest of my adult life.
Interesting.
Yeah, but she's just a good friend.
Very influential
Yeah.
on what shaped you. Huh.
Kind. I'm not getting into it.
Okay. Okay. We don't have to go there. But yeah, this was a great conversation about the do's and don'ts. Of,
Yeah, it's just this was an opportunity for me to vent a little bit.
a safe space, if you
A
will.
safe space that other people can listen to if they want and either go, you know what, I feel like those guys had every right to do all that. JR, you're wrong. That's stupid. Or maybe, God, the guys sound like the worst.
If you have a story like this, let us know.
Let us, give us your concert etiquette
Give
in
us-
the comments
a-
below.
in
give
the
us a
comments
rundown
below after
on
smashing that sub button.
wherever you could find us.
And the notification bell. That's new.
The notification bell,
Yeah.
yes, on the
On the
whatever,
tubes?
the tubes,
Yeah.
the YouTubes,
Just really just like uppercut that like button.
up just obliterate it. Sure you can.
Don't headbutt it though.
Don't.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That's dangerous.
dangerous. John, thanks for coming on and
Thank you.
and
This was
listening to
great.
me vent.
I think this was great. It
We had
was
a good
awesome.
time today. Went to comic shops. We ate pizza.
Yeah.
We schmoozed, caught up,
Yeah.
watched Alex kill some people.
We had a classic
video
comic
game.
shop experience.
It kind of it was classic.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. It hit all the checked off all the boxes.
Painful and otherwise.
Some good and some not good.
Yep.
But
Yep.
that is an American comic shop
It
for
was.
sure.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But I guess that's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks again for letting me hijack that one, guys.
It was a great hijacking.
I had to vent.
You know what? If you were the Gary Oldman to my Air Force One, I wouldn't tell you to get off my plane. I'd want you to stay.
You're a kind man.
Yeah.
And I treasure that. I value our friendship.
I value our
So.
friendship too.
So I guess that's gonna do it. If Radiohead comes to a town here, go see them. They're fucking great. And that's all I got. So until next time, I've been JR.
I'm Alex.
And I'm John.
And this is John. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's
Whatever.
it. That's it.
I didn't mean to interrupt you that time. This is
No,
episode
no.
333 of Opinions May Vary.
Halfway to the beast.
What the fuck?
Halfway to the beast. Halfway to the beast.